An up and down season. The 2023 varsity soccer team played a tough schedule while at the same time learning to play together and learning to play at a faster pace. I asked these boys to believe they were good enough to win the state championship with no seniors on the roster. Honestly, for those of you who don't know, we only had 5 players returning with any kind of varsity experience, and only one starter, Danny McCara. And the only other player with significant playing time was Josh Ross, our two captains. We had 16 new players with 0 varsity experience. I told the boys in August at the Vitale's house, how we look now is not how you're going to look in October. As I reflect on the season, it just appeared we really honestly never got breaks. We lost some close games early, many by giving up a late goal. We were down 1-0 Bluefield Hills, and if you were in the game, all of a sudden, we started to play better and put pressure on them, and referees mysteriously decided game over at halftime. At one time, we had up to 4 defenders out with injuries at the same time or illnesses. Even with our struggles, our mindset stayed the same. We will train and work with one goal in mind, as Salle always does, win the state championship. These boys constantly play with unfair pressure of always having a bullseye on their back. Every time we fell short in a game, you would think our opponents just won the state championship. Whenever you put on the purple and gold, you will always get every team's top effort and performances. That shows the respect schools have for Salle. This lofty goal has always been the stick mark in this program. Our goal here at Salle does not waver and will never change. We want to be the best. We want to win the state champs. Not settle for anything less. These boys had the pressure of continuing the legacy of Salle soccer. It was a difficult task with a loss of 17 players from 2022 and 10 starters. I am also proud of the way the boys performed academically. The team average GPA was a 3.63. Unbelievable. That deserves an A. 19 out of the 22 had a GPA over 3. 13 over 3.3. Great academic achievements. Some of the highlights of the season. For me personally, to coach 3 varsity players whose fathers played for me. Yes, I realize it ages me. Still pretty darn cool. Jimmy Spacuzzi following his dad, Steve. Andrew Corder following his father, Steve. And Dominic Valderrada following his dad, Michael. Another highlight. It was a great time going to Elisa and Gaspar's Vitale's house for our varsity barbecue after tryouts. Boys always have a great time hanging out and competing in all sporting activities. Swimming, doing all kinds of things. They were just having a great time. Going to our annual trip to Petoskey, winning both games. We beat Midland and Harbor Springs up there. Again, the boys and parents had a great bonding time. Another highlight, our first service day trip to help clean up St. Albertus in Detroit. The boys gave it a complete turnover. Special thanks to Mrs. McCara and Mrs. Pacuzzi joining us for the services. Going to Leone's house for team dinner and watching film was special. The first Grosse Pointe North game, when we took off playing at that time, best half of the year. We scored 5 goals and had them down 5-0 at halftime. Beating the district championship Cosno team 4-1. Cosno made it to regionals, Division 1. And this was after we were down 1-0. We scored 4 unanswered goals. Beating a very talented, at that time, the number 2 team in the state, Oxford 3-1, and honestly controlling that game and the tempo of that game. Always nice to beat Notre Dame Prep 2-0. Their coach with me for 14 years here at Salle. beating a very good Lake Orion team 1-0. These boys turned it on. They outscored their opponent 20-0 in the districts, winning the district championship 2-0 over Grosse Pointe North, our 7th straight district championships. Another highlight, scoring 2 goals in the last 16 minutes to beat Goodrich 2-1 in the regionals. Avenging our loss to Cranbrook last year by defeating them, moving on to the state semis. The game against Mason wasn't just a great high school soccer match pitting 2 excellent teams. The game was tied, as I'll talk about later. Mason moved on based on penalty kicks. I was very proud of the boys. They all worked very hard to win and get to the championship game. Another highlight, having Josh Ross, Danny McCara, and Vince Lucci earn all Catholic awards, placing 6 players in all state and all region, more than any other team in any other class. De La Salle put more players on all state than any other school. Players like Ross, McCara, Porter, Zacharko, Balderrada, and Jerzak. 2 of them, believe it or not, were freshmen. That's unheard of. We placed 12 players on all district. So technically we placed more players on all state and all region than any other team in the state. Believe it or not, parents, there are still some high schools out there that have never had a player on all state. Let's meet these 5 young athletes. Freshmen, we have 3 talented boys that earned their stripes this year. These young men will be huge centerpieces for the future of this program, as if they're already not. The boys were asked to grow up quickly, and they did, as you saw their gradual improvement and confidence of each of these boys rise as the season went on. Very rarely does a young man become a 4-year varsity player. We will have 3 of them. Honestly, I think prior to this year, Mike Leone might have been the last one. I think that was a 4-year varsity player. Actually 3. He didn't play your senior year, so it doesn't count. First, big hand for Dominic Balderrada. 3.8 GPA during the first quarter. All district, all region, honorable mention, all state. Dominic got into 21 games. Dom and Giovanni gave up 0 goals in the district. Dom made many mistakes as a freshman, but gradually improved as season went on. A hard worker, very coachable. The things he did as a freshman is truly amazing. Beating Oxford 3-1, shutting out a very good Lake Orion team, Notre Dame Prep, and Grosse Pointe North. Dom has great reach for a keeper and tremendous soccer sense on the field. Goalkeeping going into the season was a huge question mark. It will absolutely be our strength for 2024 with Gio and Dom. Next. Andrew Corder, forward, 3.29 GPA. All district, all region, first team, all state. He's already got his dad beat. Ended up with
leave, Steve.
Ended up with 16 goals and 8 assists. Unbelievable. Started in all 23 games. Scored more goals as freshman than any other player that played for me. Had 3 game-winning goals, 2 game-winning assists. The growth this young man made as the season went on was tremendous. Had 2 goals and assists against Oxford. That does not give up many goals all year long. Tallied a goal and assist in the district championship game. During the semifinals, I am convinced 90% of all athletes would have sat out that game with a high fever that he had. Every time I took him out, he went to the garbage can to throw up. Andrew fought through it. What mental toughness. That's the growth we talked about. Next big player at De La Salle. Great composure and scoring sense for someone so young. Andrew Corder.
Next is freshman Salle Leone. Everyone calls him Sam, I think, except me and his parents. Midfielder, 3-point GPA first quarter. Played in all 23 games, started 3 of them. I gotta tell you, you watch that semifinal game, this young man was awesome. I wanted to take him and give him some rest in the game. I couldn't afford to take him out. He was playing that great. I thought that game was his coming out party. Like a hardened senior, I wanted to give him a rest, but I couldn't afford to take him out. Salle was at his best in the most important, most stressful setting. Worked his tail off against Romeo, and I thought was the best player on the field in the second half. Shows his growth as a player and what he brings to the team in the future. Should up being a great leader and captain one day. The sky's the limit for this young man. Salle Leone. Our sophomore class, we had 9 talented sophomores on varsity. I think this is our strongest class, honestly. So not only is the future bright for next year, but my God, when you see these guys, 2 more years with these guys. That's unbelievable. These skilled players have a bright future and will have the opportunity to play a major role in helping us to win state championship. These guys are already thinking multiple state championship, not one. They have matured throughout the year, and their responsibilities and contributions will continue to grow. All 9 are good role models and great people who never quit and will work to reach their goal. Amazing to think, again, like we have 2 more years with these boys. First is midfielder Ashton Bond. 3.1 GPA, all district. Ashton, again, is one of the few players who played in all 23 games, starting 16 of them for us. Finished with 4 goals, 3 assists, with 3 game-winning goals. Scored a huge goal against Northern Prep. Rose to the challenge by scoring with less than 6 minutes left against Goodrich. Clutch goal, one-timer, to get us into the regional finals. One of our top one-on-one players, extremely talented with the ball. When Ashton was on his game, he's a defender's nightmare. And he's only a sophomore. He will only get bigger, faster, stronger, and better. Such a great offensive weapon. Next is midfielder. Midfielder Connor Donahue. 3.52 GPA, played in 12 games. Had the game-winning assist in our first game against Grosse Pointe North. One of the most committed players in our program. Connor always worked hard during the offseason to make himself a varsity player. I didn't put him on varsity, he forced his way on varsity. Shows up daily and competes. Very good at moving the ball and finding his teammates. Once Connor's confidence goes up and he believes himself, look out. I'm so excited to see how much improvement he has made as he enters club soccer. The things that he learned this past year are going to be invaluable to him, and he's going to see the game slow way down for him. Connor Donahue. Next is midfielder JT Gaetano. 3.92 GPA. Played in 19 games. Would have played in all, but he was hurt. Started 5 of these games. Has a huge upside as a player. JT has only scratched the surface for how good he is going to be. Has a chance to play a major role on this team for the next couple years. Excellent on switching the field play. There were many times in our practice sessions where he was one of the top players on our practice field. Has a great shot. Is more dangerous offensively than you guys have noticed. And I know you'll have the chance to demonstrate that next season. He will make great strides during the offseason. His confidence and aggressive play will be a true asset. Next is midfielder Vince Houlihan. 3.29 GPA, all district, played in every game, and ended up with 4 goals, 4 assists. Scored a huge goal in the state semis with a minute left in the second overtime to tie the game. Had 2 goals and 2 assists against Toledo Catholic Central, a very talented player. We moved Vince wide on the team this year, like Ashton Vianney, to capitalize on his ability to break down defenses. His 4 assists demonstrates his ability to put quality crosses into the box. Vince started slow this year, but his play improved as the season started. His confidence level is off the charts right now, and that is great. Already, I feel he's an impact player in this program. It will only get better. I can tell you, Ryan and Trish, you have so much to be proud of this year. Next is midfielder James Pacuzzi. 3.28 GPA. Played in 10 varsity games. I'll be honest with you, he could play a lot more. Jimmy was hurt at times, many times, suffered 2 concussions. Had a goal and assist in the districts. Extremely coachable young man. As the season went on, Jimmy started to come into his own. You could see the confidence and the sense of belonging merge from him. He stopped taking a back seat to other players. He actually was one of our stronger players during training towards the end of the season. What I love about this young man is the fact that whatever I told him he needed to work at to be better, he took it to heart and worked at it. He will come in next year and play like a hardened veteran and push players for starting spot and playing time, I have no doubt. Next is Giovanni Vitali. Will be a 4-year varsity player. He was on varsity last year as a freshman. Played 13 games, gave up no goals in Harbor Springs games. Shut out Toledo Catholic Central, along with Dom, helped De La Salle outscore their opponents 20-0 districts. Technically a very sound keeper. Gio got better in controlling his area, much better at communicating. I kept telling him, you need to talk more in the box, and he started doing it. He did a great job. His overall improvement makes this position a strength. Like the rest of his peers, more will be expected from Gio entering his junior year. We look for him to get back to his club and work on the areas he needs to in order to get better and compete for a starting spot. I will make it a point to attend one of his club games to just watch and see his maturity in commanding the game from the back. Next is defender Josh Wilson. .8 GPA. I mean, Josh is very smart. He's in my AP Golf class, extremely smart. Played in 20 games and started, honors American history, and started 6 of them. Giving him too much credit, not even good. What? I made a mistake. It happens. You've seen me make mistakes, right? Much of his playing time came, unfortunately, at the expense of so many injuries to our defense. He did not disappoint. A solid defender. We converted him last year from forward to defense. The best thing we ever did. A coach's dream when called upon. Josh steps in the game and gives everything he has and more. Importantly, tries to implement what is asked of him. I put him in the game. I said, Josh, left side, make sure that guy does not touch the ball. Josh does his job. Had many games where he stood out. Was instrumental in our win over Oxford, playing the whole game. Unbelievable. Against Lake, in a high-intensity game like that, that is unbelievable, that the position he played. Against Lake Orion Goodrich, he stepped in and shut down the whole left side. He is a great example, younger players, he is a great example of what impact you have on the success of the team by working hard and listening to your coaches. Next is Max Wasilewski, defender. 3.9 all district. Honestly, it seems like I should have a free red, what do you call those when you, red shirt year with Max. He literally played half the season this year. Just broke our heart. I never showed my emotion whenever Max went down, but you gotta believe my heart dropped every time I see him go down. But as a coach, I've learned a long time ago, don't show despair, don't show how worried you are. when a player gets injured. Move on. Next man up. But you're kidding yourself if you don't think that I believe this kid's one of the best defenders, in my opinion, in the Catholic League and possibly in the state. Like Gio Nicolai will be a rare De La Salle 4-year varsity player. We never saw the best of Max all season. He got into only 11 games due to injuries, 11 out of 23. And a lot of those 11 that he played, he was hurt. A great player and has outstanding leadership qualities. Max has a chance to be one of the top defenders in the state. He is a special player. He continues to remind me that defense is not his best position. Tough luck. But truthfully, he is that good. He can play any position on the field and excel. Max excels at getting to the ball and making plays downfield. He will be asked to get into the attack. He'll be happy to hear that. He'll be asked to get into the attack much more next year. Young men like Max and Nicolai are such hard workers and role models. I have no doubt they will make great captains in the future. Max already commands respect, has a chance to definitely play, in my opinion, at the next level after high school. My classes at De La Salle get mad at me when I always make a comment. Give me 11 players like Nicolai and I will never lose a game as a coach in any sport. That's the kind of work rate and work the heart that this young man has. Nicolai is a charcoal midfielder. 4.04 GPA. All districts. All regional. 13 all state. Started all 23 games for us. Rarely ever came out of the game. And playing more of a defensive role, still ended up with 5 goals and 8 assists. Had 2 game-winning goals, 2 game-winning assists. Scored a huge goal against Goodrich with 16 minutes left to tie the game. Oh yeah, he played that game with a really, really bad fever that again, most players would have sat out. We may not be moving on to the semifinals had Max not stepped in the plate. Scored the only goal against Midland to give us a victory. Like Max, Nicolai can play anywhere. Anywhere. One of the hardest workers in our program. I am sure you all came to the game and it's possible not to notice number 10 on the field running through the wall for his brothers on the team. Nicolai gets respect from the coaches, opponents, teammates. I don't need to say anything else, that he's that well respected. Nicolai, thank you for everything. It is so nice to get to the last group and not stand here and say bye to them. Because they're all coming back. It would be nice next year to have seniors on the varsity, unless I cut them all and try to win the states again without seniors. We have 10 juniors, and they were asked to lead and believe they were seniors this year. They provided great leadership, and again, I have no doubt they will be great role models next year for our players and students. First, my boy Vince Gelly. 3.66 GPA. He obviously didn't have me as a teacher. Defender. Due to injuries, honestly, sadly, he only got to 6 games, starting 4 of them. All in the beginning of the year when he was healthy. He is a vital part of the team and displayed so much heart. Losing him was such a huge blow to our defense. Vince is one of the most physical players that kept our opponents honest. When an attacking player comes at you and a physical player comes in hard at him to win the ball, that attacking player thinks twice about doing it. Vince was that type of player. Such a wonderful young man, very coachable and mature. I know he expects a lot out of himself, and we expect a lot out of him. Vince will spend the offseason improving his ball skills. Even hurt, he acted like he was a senior and demonstrated so much leadership on the sideline and in practice. He is highly respected and should be motivational to all that hard work does pay off. Love you, Vince. Next is Vianney Georgius, 3.45 first quarter. All district, played in 21 games, starting in 11. Honestly, it took time for Vianney to adjust to high school ball coming from club. He's extremely talented, has great touch on the ball. One of our better shooters. It will be up to me, I blame myself, it will be up to me to find ways to get Vianney more involved into our attack. We need him to be more involved in our offense. When he's on, he's as good as any player on the field. Well liked by his teammates. I have high expectations of this young man. He reminds me of me when I was his age, not just because of size. Taller than you, Coach. I can't. We have Christian brothers here. I can't tell you take their money out. So he is capable of doing so much more. And once he understands that, look out. We have a potential all-stater on our team. He's really good. So Vianney. Next is forward Luka Ishak. Luka played in 14 games till he got hurt, injured. Played in almost every game till he got hurt. He scored 2 goals against Harper Springs to get us going in that game. Luka is you guys don't know hockey, but he reminds me of Phil Esposito, who played for Boston Bruins in his day. He's that power forward that camps himself in the front and has a great soccer scoring sense. Holds the ball well up high, has the ability to find goals inside the box. He's got a scorer's mentality. Luka has traits that would make him very valuable to the squad. With continued training and experience, he will add a lot to our offense next season. Needs to work hard on just being more consistent on a daily basis. Very passionate about soccer and being in this program. Once he gets the opportunity next year, I would not bet against him. One of our toughest and strongest players. I'll tell you what, you needed to harness this kid and tie him down. Even when injured and stuff like that, he could barely move. He's insisting that he's good enough to get on the field and play. Big hand for Luka. Next is defender Jack Janish, all district. Started 22 games for us. Like Harrison Pertot, we asked him to switch from midfield to defense. Honestly, due to all the injuries on our defense we had early on. Did a great job. Jack is one of our top athletes along with JJ. Scored a huge second goal in the district championship to give us breathing room. What a plus it is to have a defender who can handle the ball and get into the tack. Jack and Danny gave us so much offense from the back line. I think he had as many crosses in the back as any other player on our team. Has the ability to be a great shutdown defender as a senior. Jack will be as good as he wants to be. He has that kind of ability and potential. Next is my captain, JJ Jerzak. 3.19 GPA, midfielder, all district, all regional, honorable mention, all state. Played in 23 games, started everyone, one of our top scorers. JJ finished with 6 goals and a team-leading 11 assists. 2 game-winning goals, 3 game-winning assists. Had 2 assists versus Oxford. Game-winning assists against Cranbrook in the regional finals. This great athlete, like Nikolai and JJ, covered a lot of ground in the center mid position. Was a great leader on the team. JJ's very good in the air, probably the best on our team. Always a dangerous option when you're trying to score, or defensively when you're trying to clear balls away. This young man worked hard, turning himself into one of the top players in the state. Played like a possessed senior. So nice to know he has another year. I love JJ. Great job, JJ. Vince Lucci, 4.06 GPA. Defender, academic all-Catholic. Played in 10 games, gave us depth at left defense. Vince worked hard during tryouts to force himself on varsity. Vince is a great teammate. His love and support for his brothers is second to none. He is very involved in the game, has improved his play annually, improved on his ball skills, and did a better job of playing possessional soccer. Never can have enough left footers on the team. I am sure he will do everything possible to come in even more prepared for his senior year. He is looked up to and respected by his peers. Vinny is very reliable and committed to the success of this team. Also, he has a kind of a dry humor that amuses everyone. I still don't get it. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. A great student and, more importantly, a wonderful person, Vince Lucci. Next is our captain, Danny McCara. 3.82 GPA. Defender. Listen to this. All league, all district, voted the top defender in the region. Voted the top defender on first team all state. Played and started in 23 games. Danny is the only starter returning from 2022. Even in defensive role, he finished with 4 goals and 4 assists. Scored a huge goal against Cranbrook. Scored the only goal in a 1-0 victory over Lake Orion. This left footer has a strong leg and continually launched balls in the box and gave his team a chance to score on those free kicks. With the injury to Max, Danny was called upon to anchor our defense. Before every game, as he went through the line, I used to always whisper in his ear, "Danny, I need you to be the coach on the field. I need you to be me on the field to take over." Has a chance to go down as one of the top defenders in school history. After his upcoming monster senior year, Danny, in my opinion, will have opportunities to play at the collegiate level. So happy to have him for one more year. Danny McCara. Next is, well, I guess I call him now defender, Harrison Pertop. What a great kid. 3.79 GPA. For our first year defenders like Harrison and Jack Janish and both make all district, that's unbelievable. Harrison played in every game, starting 20 of them. Again, like Jack, we asked him to move defense to offset our injuries. What a great job he did on the left side. Gave us good ball control. He battled for 80 minutes. Compared to the last few years, it was kind of a luxury this year to have 2 guys play marking backs that can handle the ball and get into the attack for 80 minutes. Scored a huge winning goal against Cranbrook. Just all-out aggressiveness and wanting the ball more than his opponent is how he earned that goal. Nothing flashy. Challenged hard, wanted the ball, won it, and we move on. It's that simple. That's what heroes are made from, doing what others may not be willing to do. Harrison was a great leader, always led by example. What separates him from other high school athletes is his willingness to take accountability and responsibility and to work hard to correct his shortcomings. I love this young man. He's a class athlete, class person, and I know the hockey coach feels the same way about him as I do. That says a lot about him. Harrison Pertop. Next is our captain, Josh Ross. 3.61 GPA, midfielder. All Catholic, all district, all region. One of the top players in the region. First team All-State. Started in every game and logged a ton of minutes for a center midfielder. Led the team with 16 goals and contributed 5 assists. I mean, it's almost like who's who scoring. Scored against Toledo St. John's, U of D, Grosse Pointe North, Henry Ford, twice against Brother Rice, huge goal against Mason. The point is, this young man scored many huge goals. As good of a captain as any senior I've ever had. Holds himself and his teammates accountable. Josh had a tremendous motor. Never stops working. Reminds me a little bit when Leone was a captain as a junior for me. I was blessed to have Josh, Nikolai, and JJ in the center midfield area. 3 players that never stop working. Continues to improve his ball skills, ball movement, and soccer vision. Outstanding young man with high character. Absolutely the quarterback of this team. Again, so blessed to have this young man lead my team. Like Danny, it's like having another coach on the field. I know, and then David, you have so much to be proud of. Josh Ross. Next is Andrew Vandervoort. Obviously well liked by his teammates. 3.13 GPA, defender, played in 8 games, started 4 of them. Like Vince, played a lot till he was hit with injuries. It really hurt our defense and actually forced me to make the adjustments I had to make. Made great strides in 1 year from JV to varsity. Improved his defensive understanding. Andrew was very good in the air. Reads the game very well. Stepped in and did a great job for Max until he got hurt. The biggest change in Andrew was his confidence. He really blossomed and believed in himself. He's a great teammate to have and a role model. Every championship team needs players like Andrew. Hard workers who step on the field and do what it takes in the best interests of their brothers. Andrew Vandervoort. Just a few announcements before we get to soccer awards, and JJ comes to speak on behalf of the team, since we don't have seniors. Since the season has ended, some of the players have been texting me to tell me how well they are playing on their club team. The confidence that they have, their mental toughness that they have, how the game has actually slowed down for them now that they had a year of varsity soccer under their belts. Parents, I know you have noticed the growth in your boys as players and as young men. Returning players, okay, just keep an eye on that. Returning players, few announcements, all of you out there everywhere, you need to set up one-on-one meeting with me now that the banquet is here. We will try to put, these are just plain else, we'll try to put a couple teams together to play in high school league somewhere. We'll see what's going on in the PSC and other places. Workouts, captain's practices will start when the boys are done with school the following Monday, June 3rd, 10 to 11:45 Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. What? You didn't think I'm thinking about it already? It's a little late. It's a little late? Yeah. High school camp, so you parents know, it's the last week in July 22 through 26. The week prior is for the younger kids, July 15th through the 18th. Tryouts, and I'm saying this just so you guys planning vacation and stuff. Tryouts on Monday, August 12th through Thursday, August 15th. Well, the last announcements, honestly, before we get to the awards. All of us need to share or try to sell the school to everyone we know. Players and parents, you are the most important ambassadors to De La Salle. My wife will tell you, there is not a place I go to that I don't rave about De La Salle, that I don't talk about how I bleed purple and gold. That this school means everything to me. I've had opportunities to go to numerous schools in my past. Schools that want me to come in, offer me teaching jobs, take over the Boys and Girls program. I stay loyal to De La Salle because I feel that strongly about this school. You all need to be ambassadors of school. Here's what I'm saying to you. Why is it fair that your son gets a great education, ends up in memories of a lifetime, and not share that with other children? Share the news. Okay? You're the biggest spokesman we have. Okay? We have some awards, but I think at this time, hold on. Yeah, let's give them out. Get on the order. All right, first award. There's actually a tie. Now, just so you know, parents, these are for you first time. These are awards voted on by the players themselves. They all vote on which players get what awards and stuff. And so they all vote, and I tally the votes and then give to awards. I only have one vote, and that will be the last one, which is a coach's award. So, first award, actually there was a tie. And honestly, rightfully so. It is the most improved defender. The award goes to Josh Wilson and Harrison Pertot. Again, it's crazy to think the role that freshmen have played on this team. Most improved midfielder goes to Sedimo Leone. Most improved offensive player, voted by his teammates, Ashton Bond. Most valuable player on offense, not a surprise, Andrew Corder. You're not sick anymore. I should have asked that first. Most valuable midfielder, Nikolai Zacharko. Always serious. Most valuable player on defense, Danny McCara. MVP voted by his teammates, and honestly it was almost unanimous. Josh Ross. This is the only one I chose. It goes to a coach's award, and honestly it's one of a person that I have a lot of respect for, that really worked hard and made himself one of the top players in the state. I really believe that through hard work, determination, and no matter how much crap I gave him, he never said no. He always worked out there and worked harder and harder. Coach's award, the only one the boys don't vote on, J.J. Jerzak. Now, I would like to ask, I think it's, before I make my closing comments and send you everyone home, boys have school tomorrow, but
Guys, you can have a seat, maybe JJ, you're coming up here to speak to the parent, to everyone.
Good evening, guests, athletes, friends, and family. I'm here today speaking on behalf of the team to talk about this wonderful season that we're all here to celebrate. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the amazing season this team has had. Although we did not reach the end goal we desired, much was accomplished. The team at the beginning of the season was written off by almost everyone because of the lack of seniors on the team. Even so, we did not give up. We pushed each other to new levels that we didn't even dream of and fought our way to the Final Four. The success of the team cannot just be credited just to the team, but to the overwhelming of support that us boys received. To start with the coaches, which include Coach Mokhtar, Leone, Sean, Lentini, Miller, Skip, and Coach Liz. Although we have many, each one plays their own unique role that made this program remarkable and one of the best in Michigan. The coach's guidance has been instrumental in shaping us as players and humans. Criticism pushed us, and your faith has propelled us to strive for excellence. Next, Mrs. Pacuzzi. Our team mom deserves a special mention. All the work she put in behind the scenes made this season truly special, and the memories and fun we had would not be possible without her involvement. Thank you to Mr. Valderrada for all the videos and pictures you took throughout the year. And to the parents, your support has been invaluable. Your cheers from the sidelines, making sure we were fed on game days, your understanding when we came home tired, and your encouragement when we faced challenging moments meant the world to us. Thank you for being our biggest fans and reminding us that win or lose, it's the love of the game that truly matters. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who has been part of this journey. This was a season of fun, growth, and unity, and I am confident that next year will be an even greater testament to our team's spirit and potential. Thank you, everyone. Here's to an incredible season and an even more exciting one to come.
Closing comments. Gentlemen, you finished the season on a winning streak.
The last game was not a tie, was a tie, not a loss. The PK is just used to see who goes on to move on. It literally is a coin toss. Parents, I don't know if you know soccer as much as maybe as Steve and things like that, but you can play PKs with the same team over and beat them the next 3 times. You could have 5 dads play PKs. It really is just a coin toss.
We did.
We will meet.
We won. We won.
Patowski, yep.
Bring that up, guys.
We will meet Mason again, and next time we will not get into overtime. We avenged Cranbrook this year. Next year it will be Mason going down. Going into the playoffs, we said we will not lose another game, and you held your part of the deal. So proud of you. I love these boys and this team. God, family, and friends are the most important part of your life. Treasure the tears, treasure the laughter, but most importantly, treasure the memories. We talked about establishing memories for the season that will last us a lifetime. I certainly believe we have done that. I will never forget our run or any of you. I am sure you feel the same way. I always tell the boys, trophies collect dust, but your memories last forever. Thank you, boys, for everything. We have shared success, endured disappointments, and that's what makes a family. We are fortunate to be returning every player for 2024. You have the pressure to continue the legacy established here at De La Salle. We talked about tradition, and this 2023 team certainly has returned it. Gentlemen, hopefully you take out of playing for me is so much more than just soccer. It's the ability to believe in yourself and strive to reach your goals. It's to quiet the naysayers, not let anyone tell you you're not good enough or you're incapable of reaching success. You are so much better than average.
Never settle for average. In my teaching profession, I have the perfect vocation from God. I work with the most extraordinary group of young men and teach with amazing colleagues here at Salle. I have obtained my goals in life. I married a beautiful and amazing woman. I have 2 loving and caring children that I'm very proud of. I have reached my goals. Gentlemen, set your goals higher than you think is possible and go out and get them. Parents, you certainly have made my job easier with the values and morals you have installed in these boys. God bless you for giving these boys such love and solid foundations for success. Boys, you may deal yourself proud, and we shall never forget the excitement you brought back to our school in 2023. Good night, everyone. God bless you all. Safe, happy Thanksgiving holiday. Drive safely, everyone.